Good morning, everybody, or good evening, whenever you're listening to it. This is Drake with the RPG Construct, and we are doing another one of these So You Think You Can Role Play improv games. So if you've never seen these before, basically I pick 4 random people. We make characters a few days before, and then we go into a game having no idea who or what we're going to do. No place names, no scenes. These guys are going to fill in the blanks. Think of it as kind of like a, what did I say before, guys? Mad Libs for D&D. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to go through each of these guys, have them introduce themselves, introduce their characters, and then we'll just kind of get into the fun. And I promise you guys in the first 10 minutes, you'll hate me, but by the end, you'll probably have some fun. Okay. So first, we're going to go with Zach.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zach. I run the channel Geeks on Dice. Every other Sunday, you could find Connor and me playing with a group of other people, playing a game called Rumors in the South. Today, I'll be playing a albino kobold by the name of Creep, who happens to be a cleric of the grave by accident.
Okay, we're going to go with albino kobold cleric of the grave. That's a fun one. Jason.
Hey guys, how you doing? Jason Smith. I run the YouTube channel Smith's Forge Gaming. Not a whole lot going on over there right at the moment, but plan on getting some more games up. Today I'm going to be playing a grown paladin of conquest called Kaboing. Yeah, this ought to be fun.
Kaboing.
Kaboing.
Frog person paladin.
Frog paladin.
All right. Next we have Jose.
Hey everybody, my name's Jose. I have the channel D20Z, and today I'm playing Owen, who's a furbug bark from the College of Swords, and he pretty much he's kind of like oblivious to the whole nature life. Like he grew up in a caravan with like a dwarf female, mother and elven father, so his world is a lot different than other people.
Okay. And finally, Connor.
Hi, everybody. Like Jake said, my name's Connor. I run the channel Versatile Diecaster. Today I'm playing Kuklu Morinu, the Goblin Samurai. And his basic gist is he's like, screw the honor. I don't want any of that. And so he fights dirty, both to live and so that he has some nice stories.
Okay. So, with that, guys, we are going to begin the game. What I need to know from all of you is let me know right or left. That's what I need to know. You guys come up with it together.
To the left.
Good adventures go to the left.
That's right.
Okay. Good adventures go to the left. So, with how you are, I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes. But all of you are passing your characters to the person to the left. Zach, you are playing the Goblin Samurai. Jason, you are playing the Kobold Cleric. Jose, you are playing the hold on a second. Let me figure this one out because I have it written down. Basically, Zach, you're playing Jason's character. Jason, you're playing Jose's character. Jose, you're playing Connor's character. Connor, you're playing Zach's character. All of your things are saved in the chat. If you need it, I will repost it to you. So thank you so much for all your hard work and design of all of your characters. And you had this all planned. I love it. Thank you so much. Now play somebody else's. I love you all. So if you need anything, it should be in the chat. If you need more than that, if you need an email, I will be more than happy to email it to you real quick. But I'm going to give you all 10 minutes to cuss me out, do whatever you want to do. Perfectly fine. But again, guys, this is an improv game. So I couldn't give you a week to get ready to play a character if it's an improv game, right? I'm surprised nobody thought about it. Jose, yes, you are the Goblin Samurai who likes to cuss a lot. All right. What I'll do, I will put it in chat. And I'm going to mute up, guys, for about 10 minutes. And we can go from there, okay? But I'll still be around if you have any questions. See, I was expecting to get cussed at, but not yet.
Oh no, it's fucking great. So now I got to get myself in the mindset of a Furbolg bard. Great.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this at all. It's gonna be kind of weird because I had like an accent that I wanted to use with that character.
Use it anyway.
Sounds good.
That's right.
I already forgot. Which one am I again?
You are you are Jason, so you are Kaboing, the Grung Paladin.
Wrong paladin. Okay.
And I can give everybody all the character sheets should be in the chat. So you guys should be able just to pull those down.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay?
Jose, I'm sorry, there's a lot of bonus action competition.
It's all good. I mean, it's a lot simpler than the character I had, so that works out for me.
And that's why I said right or left. So, all right, guys, I'm going to mute up, and you guys, I'm going to start the timer now for 10 minutes.
Just pulling up the character sheet here. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Drake, you're gonna have to send whoever gets Creep's character sheet. I had to send it to you and all them pictures.
Hey, Jason. I forgot to add the Furbolg like magic and his racial stuff, so you might have to look it up real quick. I didn't put it in the sheet.
You're fired.
I'm sorry. It was too much stuff. Bars get too much skills, man.
I am so looking forward to this. A caster whose main casting stat is 10. Woo!
I mean, come on. It's a Drake game. Did you really think it was going to be easy?
Nope.
Yeah, I feel sorry for whoever got the cleric.
Yep.
My bad.
How you doing?
Actually, it kind of worked out because the two more experienced players got the more complicated characters, the bard and the cleric. The samurai and the paladin are not that bad, skill wise. Did we scare Jose away? He shut off his camera.
No, I'm here. I was trying to practice the voice without people looking at me weird,
We're gonna look at you weird anyway.
Embrace the weird.
Yeah, but I think I'm just gonna do the voice that I had planned for the other character because I don't want to do like a pirate voice for like a goblin pirate.
No, you good. I'm fine with whatever voice you gave him.
Six minutes. Alrighty. So I have a friend of mine who's watching, and she's saying that I am very, very mean to you guys. So shout out to Maddie. How you doing, huh?
Yeah, you're a monster. How dare you?
I am. This is actually you should see my Dragon Grin games. Those things are mean, especially to Scott Eustace.
I've been wanting to play one, but I haven't really seen that many people run them.
Well, I started a campaign a year ago when it first came out with Tim and James. I got a lot of content a little kind of before it came out, and I started running a campaign just like I run a Harbinger campaign. I run a lot of campaigns for settings that aren't finished. So this is just fun. But no, on my channel, I think we have 11 episodes up now. I don't know. We have a lot. We haven't done one in a few months due to scheduling, but.
Well, as long as you have fun, that's all that matters. And I think we lost Jason.
That's all right. His kid probably kicked the router.
You know, I was just talking at the D&D shop I always go to last night about DMs that do this. Literally this.
What? Just random it?
Yeah, everyone makes character and then other people play them.
Well, it wasn't my plan until I started thinking, because I would normally only give you guys a day to do your characters, and I gave you so long. I was like, I can't let them. Y'all were talking about you set your accents and all this stuff, and I'm like, man, that's not an improv game. So
See,
I was like,
see what we did?
you guys did it. The first 2 games I didn't do the character swap, but I literally rolled them. I have a bunch of these random dice where it's like, race, class, background, and everything. So I literally rolled on camera for everybody, like 3 hours before. The first one I did an hour before. Didn't I send? I think I sent it to you, Connor. No?
You sent me everything except for the base stats.
I have it. Just give me a
I
second.
got it. Hold on.
Okay, you got it?
Yep.
Oh, excuse me. So
I can find them on my list of messages here.
here you go. I beat you to it.
Oh, thank you very much.
A cleric with a 10 wisdom score.
It was done on purpose.
I obviously, but yeah, but no, I was reading through a lot of the like the Xanathar's stuff, and the cleric of the grave. If you have him in your party, pretty much you can't die. I mean, it's that OP. It's just really, really good. What happened, Jason? You're muted.
Sitting up looking up spells and it cut me off.
Oh, okay. All right. Looks like we got about 2 minutes, guys. Connor, you look worried. You okay?
I'm completely fine.
It's funny. Now, I do believe that one of the character guys try to go by the character traits that they put. I believe the Goblin Samurai had a cussed like a sailor. So, Jose, you have to cuss every other word. And you seem like a really nice person, so this is going to push you really hard. This is not a family-friendly game. If anybody is going to be listening, Jose's got a potty mouth. I'm just saying.
How dare you, Jose? This is a family show.
I don't speak English.
That's all right. Yo quiero Taco Bell. All right. Is everybody needing more time? Are we set, or how y'all doing?
I'm good to go.
Okay. Zach, you good? All right. Jason, you good? Connor, good? Jose, you good? Okay. So we shall begin, guys. And the first few things that I'm going to need to, I'm going to go through each of you, and we're going to fill in a little bit here about where we start. So let's go with Jose first. Jose, what type of area are you guys beginning in? Is it a city? Is it a mountain? Is it a forest? Is it, a tavern? What's the overall like general environment that we're going to begin in today?
A city, like not a major city, but just like a outpost where people come in and trade.
Okay. Okay. So it's not a huge city, and is it sitting in like a typical, like mountain range, or is it sitting in the desert?
Well, I would say that one side is like mountain range, but in the other side is like the port, and that's how I came in.
Oh, okay, okay. And Connor, in this city, what's the city known for, and who's the major race that runs the city?
The major race that runs this city is Firbolg, because of the deciduous trees in the mountains.
A Firbolg city, okay. And what is the major kind of export that this city is known for?
The major export that the city is known for is lumber and other products made from wood that could be sold for other things that the Firbolg would need in this city.
Is there a specific type of lumber? Is it some type of thing that only grows here, or is it just your standard stuff? Is it your standard fare?
It is a special kind of wood that can only be cultivated here because of the concentration of the Firbolg's unique brand of magic.
And what's that wood called?
The wood is called Firbolg leaf.
Fabled leaf? Okay.
Yes.
And Zach, what's the name of this city?
Fadeport.
Fayport? That absolutely works. And who is the kind of the governing body, Zach? Is this governed by a council? Is it governed by like a magistrate, by a king? Who runs this port city of Fayport?
As far as we know, because the Firbolgs are more of a secretive group,
Okay.
supposedly there's a council behind the major decisions, but the front man or the face of it would be a large full Firbolg man by the name of Long Branch.
Long Branch. Okay. And finally, Jason, in the port city of Fayport, that is known for its lumber exports of fabled leaf, you know that all of you have been summoned by the leader of this supposed council, this large Firbolg named Long Branch. Why is he calling you? And why would you be the first to go?
Because the Lumber Consortium has brought back diseased wood. Something's going on, some kind of fey magic's ruining the sturdiness of the wood, making it damn near unusable.
And Jason, what does this wood usually look like when it's proper and healthy? What's like, is it a strong wood? Is it a soft wood? How would you describe it?
Oh, it's extremely sturdy, but easily cut. And it would be kind of like a deep reddish marbling through the wood itself. It's a beautiful cut.
And when this rot or this disease or magic has come into it, what does it look like then? Does it become brittle? Does it become soft?
Oh, it becomes like spongy, like very porous, and just loses all use.
Okay. And does it stay the same color, or does it change?
No, it turns into like a greenish, yellowy type of disgusting color.
Okay.
Very unpleasant.
And that, gentlemen, is where we begin. The four of you, escorted by Firbolg, for lack of a better phrase, guards, leather armor, each holding a spear, going through these walls that, although they are stone, because of kind of the fey magic and energy in this city, you can see like tree roots and stuff going through all the tunnels, almost in a beautiful kind of purposeful pattern. And you go through some doors, just very quiet, very just silence walking through. And each of you, one by one, gets brought into a chamber where you have 6 chairs and this kind of half moon table, surrounded in this large room, probably 50 feet long, and 50 feet wide, a very large one. You see beautiful tapestries of just different nature settings, trees everywhere. You see the kind of portrait, but sewn in a form that you know to be one of the goddesses that the Fae kind of worship. And you all are brought there, and each of you are told to wait. They will be with you quickly. And as the guards walk out, you just hear the close as the closing door kind of echoes. And the 4 of you stand in front of this kind of half moon shaped table with 6 empty chairs surrounded by this beautiful chamber. what would you guys do or say?
So I would think Kulak would like turn around and he would be like, I don't know who the lot of you are, but I said we prepare and we kill him and then we get out of here.
Owen, pulling a little bag of little sack of forest mushrooms out and just kind of popping them in his mouth, leaning up against the wall, is like, "Oh, we gotta go with the killing so early, man. It's like it's just bad for business."
You don't survive as long as I have without having some cautions. You feel me, friend?
Lots of things don't survive as long as you have. Those are just their natural lifespans.
You think you're funny, huh?
Exactly, man. Circle of life, man.
And Zach, you see this hippie popping mushrooms, this little goblin just like looking at his sword like he's ready to run someone through, and this little kobold kind of shooting jokes at this goblin. Would you say anything to them, or would you just kind of sit back and, take it all in?
He'd sit back and think to himself, I kind of like this little group here. And look around. Where are all the women?
And
He just wait for the women to show up.
And Jason, as the one member of the race, would you have anything to say about the women of your race, as you have this 3-foot frogman holding a extraordinarily long spear? He might be compensating.
He gives a wink.
Would you have anything to say about it, or just knowing that the women of your race would probably destroy him in every way?
I would kind of snicker and smile. You're going to need a bigger staff, man.
And
I have one. Don't worry.
And with that, you begin to hear a little bit of a, like in the distance, more of a quite a motley crew we've brought today. And a very large figure, almost 7 feet tall, walks out, dressed in these regal robes, but the definitive Furbolg face that you are all familiar with in this city, kind of that bluish tinge with the brown hair, kind of the pointy ears, but dressed better than you've ever seen someone in this city. This is obviously a person of power, and you can only assume that this is the person in charge. He comes out and he sits at the center of this table, and he looks at all of you and he says, all of you are visitors to this city. None of you are born of this place. Even you. And he looks over at you, Jason, and he says, as a matter of fact, you probably belong here less than these other three. Do you know anything of the fabled leaf in these lands?
Is he talking to the group or specifically me?
He's talking to the group, but he's specifically looking at you.
Well, I don't know much about the wood, but, like the road, goes ever on, man. And you got no choice but to walk it, man. It's like the door opens and you go through it. So, yeah.
Okay. He just kind of looks and almost rolls his eyes. Anyone else? Okay. And he just kind of, adjusts his robes and he puts his hands down very kind of properly, obviously holding back some type of frustration or anger. And he goes to his side and he pulls a branch of what all of you know to be the fabled leaf. And he just kind of clunks it down on the table with a thud, and you can hear it kind of resonate in this chamber. He said, "This is why we are here. This is why this city is here." And then he grabs it and he holds it up and he cracks it in half. But it doesn't give a crack because it's become so spongy and kind of gross. It just bends and breaks. It doesn't become brittle. It just becomes soft. And he kind of does it and he pulls it apart and he kind of throws it down at your feet. He's probably 10 feet away. He said, this is why you're here. This is getting worse.
The boy would say, maybe you just left it in the water too long. Sometimes in the swamp, when the logs stay in the water too long, they get soggy and fall apart like that.
He stands up and he walks over to you, Zach. And he kind of bends down, holding his robes back. And he said, this isn't a matter that a jest would be appropriate. Now, there's a reason that you have been called here. All of you in your own way have a particular set of skills that maybe could be helpful. And if you were willing to help us with this problem, it might be beneficial financially for all of you. You are all visitors to this city. I am sure all of you could use a place, an item, a favor. There is nothing that you could want that I cannot provide. But you see, without this, something is doing this. Something is destroying our livelihood. Something is destroying the forest. Every magical guard that we had on it, nothing, for 1,000 years, nothing has hurt that grove. And now this disease, this darkness begins to creep in. And more of your kind come every day. The worse it gets, the more people like you come. So I thought maybe you could shed some light on what it is. And maybe tell us how to fix it if you were to be properly motivated.
So what do you mean people like us?
People like you, those of differing origins.
I would raise my hand at this point and say, I wasn't making a jest. Maybe you just left it in the water too long.
He absolutely looks at you with a kind of a cursory glance and then looks back at the party, just not wanting to be involved. And he said, people or creatures that are not of the Fae. This used to be only an area, a city for those of the Feywilds that would come and rest here and bring their unique abilities. But throughout the years, it's become more diverse. And as things have become more diverse, problems do happen. Although I've never really seen one of you. And he looks over at Creep. What is Creep wearing, Connor?
Creep is wearing patchy clothes that cover half of him at best. And there are just holes all over his worn and threadbare linens.
And he looks over at you and he says, you are one we haven't seen before, and they say you have the ability to aid. I believe one of my guards saw you help someone not long ago. But he also said that you hung out and hung around in the cemetery a bit too long, and he found you rather odd. Perhaps you have some uses, but the first thing you must do is change those filthy rags. Perhaps bathe before you see me again. Is this something that you would be willing to investigate for me? Something that you would be willing to risk? For everything is dying in that grove.
I can certainly try to help.
And what would your fee be? What would someone of your stature require? As a matter of fact, all of you. There is much that I can provide, but I would need to know what you would need in return for looking into this for me.
So, what's his name? Kirklock would jump into like the chair, and then he would jump into the desk. And he would be looking right at you, and he would be like, "Look, lad, I don't know about the rest of this, guys, but I ain't cheap, and I was getting some stuff for my ship, and your people just grabbed me. So whatever it is, just get to the point. Also, I don't come cheap."
And as you did that, before you were even on the table, faster than you thought would be possible, you are flanked by 2 guards next to this man, and 2 spears are crossed in front of you, at your neck, as you say these things. Now, because of who you are, I doubt that would stop you from saying what you would say. But those guards were absolutely there. And the man looks up at the guards as if a question of, did you really pull him off a ship? And the guard just kind of looks down and nods.
Yeah, he would look like really unfazed, and he would look at both of them, and he would be like, "Listen, lads, if you know what's good for you, you might want to get away from me before some hot hits are lobbed. I might be short, but when I'm done with you, you might be shorter."
Full of fire.
Stick up for the little guys.
So you're like standing behind, just like cheering him on. Is that pretty much what's going on?
Yes.
Okay. And would you respond to that at all, Jose? Would Kuklu? Yeah.
He would probably look back at him and look at him weird, especially him being a couple. Like, he knows their reputation, but since he knows he's on his side, he would take a gold coin and like flip it his way, and he would be like, "There's more where that came from, lad."
And you, Frogman, with the abnormally large spear, what would you require for your services to investigate?
Thanks for a minute. A bigger spear. Maybe made of that fancy wood you're talking about.
A fabled leaf spear. Prized in this land. But I suppose it's a small price to pay. And how large would you want it to be?
He looks at the one he's got. At least a foot or 2 longer than this one. It's got to match.
He looks, and he actually stands up, and he walks over to you, and this one that he's holding, it's probably up to about his chin. And he said, "What you're looking for is about the standard size for one of my guards."
Sure, yeah, one just like that, the one in your hand.
Says, He goes, that's not much. And he motions over to his guard, and his guard flicks it. He actually takes his spear and actually throws it at you. Okay, give me a dexterity roll, please.
I got a nat 20.
Then you catch this thing as if this was you, it was part of your own body. You catch it, you flip it around, you kind of throw it up in the air like a circus performer, grab it, and it was made for you. And we'll get into what it is here in a minute.
And then, of course, he's going to say, and of course, the 100 gold fee that any grung would charge, and stick his hand out.
When services are rendered.
Yeah.
We can talk about.
Sure, fair enough.
So I have a quick question. If I do this job for you, can you clear my name?
Are you still standing on the table?
Absolutely.
Okay. He says, if you get down from the council table, perhaps we could discuss your record. I know you've been here but a short time, but we already know of your, well, propensity towards theft.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a thief. I'm a killer.
Okay. And he goes over to you, Jason. He says, surely someone of your background understands the importance of what I'm asking and the importance of what we do here.
Totally.
I'm just going to take that as a yes, so we'll be good. And Connor, was there anything that you needed, that you wanted to say, other than yay for little people?
Creep is going to be standing there eating very noisily on an apple.
And this gentleman looks at all of you and said, well, then it is decided. You will go north. The grove is not far from the city. I will give you two guards to guide the way. It is but only a day. What you must find out is what is happening and why. There's been rumors circulating that a certain group has set up camp within the grove. And Zach, what's the name of that group?
Damn it, I thought I had something for this. You said they're in a camp?
That they have set up camp.
Okay, and you haven't said anything that they in particular?
That's why it's improv, buddy.
Okay. This is a traveling group that tells stories about the great trees in the fabled city of the Furbolg here.
Okay. Traveling group that tells stories. Okay. And Jason, what's the name of this group? What are they called? Are they the order of something? Are they the circus, or are they what are these people? These are your people that are telling stories about trees, apparently.
Shit.
They're called shit. Okay.
Oh shit, yeah. No,
I mean, it's been said twice now.
I'm just gonna go with the loggers.
The loggers. Connor, what's the point that these loggers, this traveling group that has set up camp inside the fabled leaf grove, the sacred grove, why are they there? What are they seeking?
They're there to figure out how the Furbolg are growing such just fucking amazing examples of wood. They don't seem to grasp the concept of Fey magic.
So this Furbolg group known as the loggers, they want to know what's the secret of this grove?
Mm-hmm.
And Jose, how are they seeking that? Are they digging up the trees? Are they doing their own magic? What have you heard that they're doing? What have all of you, or what have you been told that they're doing?
Well, I would imagine that they're like digging up trees and looking at the roots and doing tests on them to figure out how they're growing such like durable wood to like make weapons and buildings out of, so that way they can pretty much sell it in like the black market and make a crazy amount of gold.
Okay. And Zach, what's the name of their leader? Is it a man? Is it a woman? Is it a furball? Tell me about their leader.
The leader of this particular group happens to be a elven woman. And I thought I'd have an elven woman's name ahead of time. We'll go with Lehigh. No last name.
Okay. Lehigh. Okay. And okay. You are all of this is explained by this council member. He explains to you about there have been tales of this small group known as the Loggers that have set up camp inside of this grove, that there have been tales that they have been seen digging up some of the trees, some of the roots, trying to fashion anything they can to be sold for money. You've heard tell of this woman, this elven woman called Lehigh, that she is the one that has kind of organized them and put them all together, that under the blanket of they are just, for lack of a better phrase, worshiping the trees. And this is the most magical of places. The people in this city can't really argue that a group that wants to worship nature or worship the trees themselves, that wouldn't be the place to go. So they were allowed in. A few attempts to remove them have been unsuccessful. So he suggests that perhaps you find that camp first on your way. That is your only lead. It could be something completely different. You just don't know. And as he kind of beckons you away, he looks at you, Kuklu, and he says, I would try to keep my hand off of your sword first. Although they are nature-loving individuals, a few that I have sent to speak to them have not been met in friendly ways. Going at them with anger may not be your best bet.
I'll try my best, but I don't like to be told what to fucking do.
Again, he rolls his eyes and just kind of beckons you away.
We'll be back. You'll see.
And he tells you that the guards will be waiting for you at the north exit of the city. It's probably 3 or 4 in the afternoon, that you are able to stay at any inn or anything like that in the city that you would want to rest, and that dawn the next morning you will be leaving. He does urge you that you should stay together for safety. And without the ability to respond to that or anything like that, he's gone. And you guys are shown the door by the 2 guards. So would you guys be saying anything, knowing all this information? Would you discuss it? Would you talk about a plan? Would you make a comment about his giant spear? I mean, what would you be?
Quick question. Is one of the guards female?
Let's go with both of the guards are female.
I lean over to him, just out of earshot of the Long Branch here, and say, where I come from, the wood is never diseased.
One of them looks down. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Give me a persuasion roll. 2 of them.
Persuasion or just straight up charisma on that?
No, give me persuasion because you're a frog.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta find the persuasion skill here. That's a dirty 20.
I need 2.
What's that?
I need 2 rolls.
2 rolls?
2 different people. Yep.
The second one is a 12.
Okay. So the first one looks down. She looks at you, and you can notice her eyes going from the tip of your spear to the bottom of your spear and back up. And she just has a little smirk. The other one just kind of keeps her eyes ahead, but you can notice a little like part of her smile goes up.
I'm gonna do a raised eyebrow thing when the one that's looking the spear up and down looks down at me. I don't know how that looks on a grung, but he's doing it.
I don't know if grungs have eyebrows, but we'll just assume she gets the point.
The little wink or something, you know.
Yeah. And that's where it's gonna go. God, that's gross. So where would you guys like to go? You have run of the city. Wherever you'd like to go, you can stay at anywhere you want, and you are required to be at the north exit at dawn the next morning.
So, quick question: the place that we're staying in, are we supplied with like free drinks and stuff like that, or not?
Within reason, sure.
Okay, so Kugla would definitely want to go to like the fanciest place.
Okay. What about the rest of you? Would you suggest it to your group, or would you just walk there?
He would be like, "Hey lads, since they're paying for it, shouldn't we get the best, the finest, especially you, Mr. Spear man?
If it's free, take the best."
Okay.
Owen it has really come to this town because of the wood here makes for really excellent like instrument making. So he's heard tell of a particular maker of lutes that makes the stratum casters lutes, and he is on his way to go check that out.
Okay. Would you let your group here know that you would be going to them, like going to return to them later?
No, I just kind of like wander off on my own thing, man.
Okay.
It's like kind of looking heads in the clouds, kind of just wander off.
Okay. Would anyone say anything to him as you actually, you know what? Everybody give me a perception roll except Jason.
I got a 15.
Okay.
2.
I had a 2 on the die.
So Connor and Zach, you guys are focused on, I guess, getting to wherever you're going. You do notice, Jose, Kuklu notices that Owen is just kind of off in La La Land, like, wow, man, and kind of going in the opposite direction. Would you say anything to him, or would you just let him go?
I would turn around and look at the 2 little guys, and I'd be like, "Hey, you lads, go to the inn. I'll meet you there. Let me follow the big guy because I think he might be a little lost." So,
and Jason, since this is your people's city, what's the name of the best inn, best tavern in town?
There's a tap house right next to a brothel called Hardwood Liquors.
Hardwood Liquors.
That's right.
And what are they known for there, Jason? What is known? What are they really known for? Yeah.
They're sour mash whiskey, man.
Sour mash whiskey. And is there, Zach, What's it called? What's this special sour mash whiskey called that is only brewed in Fayport?
Um, I'm gonna go with Cedar.
Cedar.
Simply Cedar.
And that's going to be Seedar. And Connor, this very well-known sour mash whiskey named Cedar that is only produced in Fayport at this one distillery or this tap house. What's special about it? When you drink it, what could possibly happen? Or what
When you drink
effects
it,
might it have?
You could possibly have hallucinations for a few minutes of the Feywild with butterflies fluttering around your head and you're just sitting in a field. Well, in
So more of like a euphoric thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jose, would this be something that you knew about? Or would this just be something that you don't really care as long as it's alcohol?
Well, him being a pirate, he absolutely would know about it. But the thing is, he has a crew, and pirates are cheap. You know, they just want to get cheap ale and get drunk and have women. So he would know all about it.
Okay. And we're going to let Creep and, we're going to let Creep and Caboyne make their way to the Hardwood Liquor Tap House. If Caboyne can control himself passing the brothel with his unusually large spear.
I was just gonna bring that up. He probably wouldn't even try to pass it. Just
We'll
head
get
straight
there.
in. Okay.
We'll get there. So, Jason, going to this instrument maker, what's the name of this? Is it a stall? Is it a storefront? Is it an actual building? Is it a cart? Who is this artisan and what's the name of his place?
Oh no, it's a really fine building, well built, double windows with the door in the center with instruments on full display there. The artisan himself is an older furbolg who just devotes himself to the craft. The name of the place is Seventh Mountain.
Okay. And what's the name of this artisan?
Jimmy. Just Jimmy.
Okay. And when you walk into this place, you do notice Kuklu following you. Probably, how far back would he be there, Jose? Would he be right up on him, or would he be a little bit further back?
He would probably be like 3 or 4 steps away. He figured by seeing him and seeing him popping shrooms or whatever he was doing that he's kind of like sluggish. So he would just follow him just to be safe, to make sure nothing happens to him, because him being in a town that his people are, we're in a group, he's one of them. If anything happens to him, he's pretty sure that something's going to happen to him. So he just wants to make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
Okay. And
there's a definite meander to my steps.
And would you care that he was following?
Not in the slightest.
Okay. So describe to me what you see when you walk into Seventh Mountain, this storefront, this beautiful, ornate building. And I would imagine the same thing as those tunnels that kind of have, it's stone, but they kind of have the roots of, trees kind of wrapped around in it in this kind of beautiful, elven kind of fey way. So describe what is inside of the store when you walk in.
Oh, sure. The center of the place is just kind of open. There's a couple of students from a town kind of plinking away. I immediately pick up the really great acoustics in the place, and I wander over to the loop wall. It's got several really great pieces just leaning up on their stands, and I'll pick one up and start to just strum a little bit, listening with my eyes closed and a slight smile, just really feeling the strumming.
And Kuklu, what do you see when you walk in, from your perspective?
He will probably see all kinds of like instruments on the wall. The desk, he can't even see above the desk because it's too short. And he would just walk up to like one of the lutes and start playing it. And Owen would probably be surprised that he can actually play a tune because him being, a goblin.
Okay. And an older kind of furbog, dressed in kind of just typical leather tunic and pants and boots. Just again, he has a very similar meander to Owen. He walks over to you guys and he says, "Wow, man, both of you can pluck those strings. I ain't heard things like that in a long time in this place. How you doing today?"
And I just turned to him as still kind of just playing along with the song. It's like, better now, man. This speaks to me.
Right on, brother. I understand. But I don't know what this little guy's playing. I ain't heard nothing like that before.
Well, apparently you never been in a ship before. This is what we sailors listen to.
Yeah, I done some traveling, but not on no ship. Hey, everybody. You can call me just Jimmy. Not Jimmy, just Jimmy. Now, what can I do for you guys here? Coming in here, plucking my strings. What you need?
I would kind of like fumble around on my belt and really slowly start to like count out coins, but kind of like holding it close to my face, like it's hard to focus on.
Mhm.
And count out. It's like, how much for the song, man?
Man. You don't pick the instrument, brother. The instrument picks you. And I don't think this one's singing your song.
Oh man.
No, there's a lot more here. Now this one, we don't need to worry about what this little guy does, but you getting a little vibe from you, getting a little energy. There's lots of instruments in this, highest quality you can find, brother. But let's try this. This one's almost telling me you should give it a try. And he points you over there and he kind of puts his hand on the small of your back, because this is an older gentleman, kind of graying hair, and he kind of pushes you over and you see this. It's a curved, I'm just going to draw it for you real quick. It would be something along the lines of this. It's like a curved tree branch, but it's like a horn. And you see on it, there's obviously places where you can hold it for openings for different notes. And he's like, "Man, I carved this one a long time ago. I ain't never knowed anybody that could really handle it, but I don't know. It could be. You want to give it a try?"
And I would totally take it in my hand and inspect it and give it a little blow and then kind of shake my head. And it's like, I learned this back in a faraway land. They called it the Song of Storms, and just kind of play this really fast, upbeat song that fills the entire room.
And I imagine that the sounds that come out of this kind of surprise you. The range of notes from the bass to the to the highest notes, and kind of the melody that kind of intertwined. It's like you can play 2 or 3 notes on this thing at the same time. Obviously, of just amazing craftsmanship. And as you play it, the dude just kind of leans back on his desk, And he just kind of nodding, going, "That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff." Now with that, Kuklu, would you have stopped playing the lute, or would you just be jamming out while he's doing all this?
Well, at first he would keep jamming out, but he kind of like got pissed off at the guy when he made that little remarks about he didn't care what I was doing. So he would set the lute on the wall, and he would put his hand on his back and start walking around the counter. He would look up at the guy, and he'd be like, "Hey, you lad, come here," and like making him like look down, and he'd be like, I may be a little short, but I don't appreciate the way you're talking to me. Now, give me the best loot you got in here."
Relax, man. It wasn't meant as an insult. You see, you can't bring that negative energy into my place. You see, oh, I forgot that place. See, Seventh Mountain is a place of serenity, man. You gotta bring more positive vibes in this place, like your friend here.
Well, if you give me a better loot than this shit, I'd be more than happy to brighten my mood.
And how much gold do you have on you, Jose? At 6th level, I don't know.
Not much, but he would try to like bullshit that the dude in the tower would pay for it.
Okay, he's gonna think. Now, while they have that conversation, you're finishing up your song, Jason. What would you say when you were done hearing him, ask for the loot and all that stuff? Would you jump in that conversation at all?
Yeah, I would meander back over and look to Just Jimmy and kind of just like clap him on the shoulders, like, "No worries, I got them both, man."
And with that, he'd go behind the counter, and he would get a loot that almost looks like it was made for somebody your size, Jose. It was half the size of the other ones in the room, but it's still it's about the size of a violin, but in the shape of obviously of a lute. And he kind of hands this one to you, and he says, "Yeah, I never thought I think I made one of these one day when I was having a few too many mushrooms. Don't know why I made it so small, but apparently there was a reason for it. Since it's only half the size, it's only half the price."
So he would like grab it and just be amazed at like the craftsmanship. He would just look at it. He would look back at Owen, look back at Just Jimmy. He would start stringing the strings, and just like lovely music is coming out of it. He just starts kind of like crying while he's doing it. And he would just look back at Owen. He'd be like, "Anybody this, I'll kill you." And he would just like hug his leg because it's too tall.
I imagine it sounds just like a freaking ukulele.
but beautiful in that way. And so with that, Jimmy kind of looks at you, Jason, Just Jimmy, and he says, "Your friend's talking about the council will pay for these. Is that true? I don't believe him, but you got a good vibe. I'll take your word if you say that he's going to pay."
I would just kind of like brush it off. It's like, "Yeah, there's some job that the man has got us doing with some wood in the forest. We're gonna go check it out, man." And
wood in the forest, man. That's where I get that's where I get my stuff. What are you trying to find out, man?
There's some like rot in the wood, man. We're gonna go clear the vibes.
No, man, no. You don't need to clear it. You gotta let the rot go, man. It's the cycle of life, They're just things die and then they come back, but you gotta let it die, man. You can't fight it.
Whoa.
Sorry. Best response ever, dude. And with that, he would just kind of give that to you. He would just kind of, give it to you and just kind of like, "Well, you guys, man, you just be careful out there. Just remember, there's a reason for it, man. Just don't be all Make sure you use your words before you use your sword. And he looks over at you, Jose. Just chill out and just talk about things, because things aren't always what you think. You know what I'm saying, guys?
It's just Jimmy saying that he would like reach into his like crummy pockets, pulling out all kinds of garbage and giving like 10 pieces, and he'd be like, I appreciate the advice, but if anybody threatens me, that's it. You feel me?
Yeah, well, you can take, you guys take those instruments, use them well, and I don't need nothing. You just get out of here. I'll talk to the council about what y'all got, but if you need anything, come on back.
And I would hold out my fist to Jimmy. He's like, hang loose, just Jimmy.
He'd be like, word. And as you guys go out, the camera is going to swing over to Zach and to Connor here, that have gone to the Harwood Liquor Tap House for some sour mash whiskey that possibly, called Cedar, that could possibly cause Feywild hallucinations and feelings of euphoria on a DC Wisdom saving throw. And you know what, Zach? What is the name of the brothel next door?
Lustful Loggers.
Lustful Loggers. Okay. And is this a separate building, or is it connected? Is like one of those, like there's one door and you got to go through?
No, it's separated. There's a small alley between the pub and the brothel.
Okay. And who's the matriarch at this brothel, Zach? What's her name? Who runs this establishment?
They don't know her actual name. They just call her Lady Axebane.
Axebane. Okay. And is she, do people see her all the time, or is she one of those figures that just, runs things from the back, from the back of the house?
Her and another girl usually stand at a counter behind the door. As soon as you walk in, there's a counter, a high counter. Okay. And her and another lady stand there behind there. Okay. And she just keeps tabs on who's coming in and out. And so, to answer your question, yes, they definitely see her when they first come in.
Gotcha. Okay. So you two, I'm imagining in your path, the brothel is first before the tap house in the distance there. So as you pass, what would you guys be discussing, talking about? What would you say to each other with the kobold and the grung walking side by side?
Creep would probably be talking to Kaboing and saying, "We're getting a lot of weird looks. I wonder why that is."
I don't know. It's probably because you're part reptile.
Yeah.
I mean,
not really as shiny as you are either.
They wouldn't really do that with an amphibian. But with all these hippie huggers around, though, I hope they don't think I'm the wrong kind of toad.
Yeah, or else they might lick you. Then again, you might like that.
I usually do the licking, and then just to exaggerate, he slings his tongue out real quick. Does like when you retract a tape measure, when he sucks it back in, it kind of does the bouncy thing.
And that is a very impressive tongue.
Oh, thank you.
Y'all are nuts. So what? I mean, so where are you guys going to go? What's your plan here?
I mean, where Kaboing's planning on going.
Okay.
So he would probably try to convince Creep and go, look, everything today is free on behalf of the council, correct?
I think so.
Well, we could go to the pub or the ale house, whatever you want to call it, and get ale there. But I'm betting they have ale at the brothel too. And there's ladies there.
There are ladies there. I see what your point is.
And they're free. I think they're all furbolgs, but that's okay with me. I don't know about you.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So you guys are going to go into the brothel, correct?
Yes.
And as you do, I don't know how this happened. So as you do, losing control, you are met by a beautiful elven woman. And she introduces herself to you. She's standing at the counter with next to her is a halfling woman as well, about half her height, maybe 3 feet tall. And she says, "Welcome to the Lusty Lager, my friends. The premier location for companionship in the city of Fayport. How may we serve you today?"
Okay, so Kaboing, because when I imagine this counter, I imagine they set it up for Furbolg, so it's going to be really high.
Yeah, it's about 5 feet, 4.5.
With Kaboing being so short, he's going to lean his spear against that counter and just kind of climb up it like a tree frog. And he's going to lean on the counter and say, "Look, give us as many ladies as you can. Basically, just rent us a room for the night. The council's paying for it all, and whoever isn't working tonight, you can just send our way."
The elven woman looks as many as we have. We're a rather popular institution. I don't have but half a dozen free, and those rotate. You're looking for constant companionship until when?
Tomorrow morning should be fine, or whenever I fall asleep. Like I said, it's all on the council tonight. Charge whatever price you want too. We don't mind. Do we? And it looked down a creep. Do we?
The council will be. Are you sure the council will be paying for your companions? That doesn't sound like them.
Hey, they said whatever.
And what proof do you have?
The one guy, the big stick. I forgot his name.
I can attest to it.
Yeah, see, he vouching for me. He's look at him. He's a white kobold. He's albino. Would albinos lie to you?
She goes.
If you say yes, you're racist.
She bends down to the halfling, and she just kind of whispers something in her ear, and the halfling kind of trotters off outside, and you can see her going back the way that you came. And she says, "For now, I'll believe what you say, and allow you one companion each for the moment. I've sent my daughter to just verify what you've said. And if everything is fine, we will have no problems. Or my name isn't the Axebane."
Is it?
What? Yeah, we don't know your name.
Good. That's probably for the best. Now, what type of companion are you looking for this evening? What type of services are you looking for this evening? Would you like the honeymoon suite? There are several beds, several areas for various activities. What exactly can we provide? He looks at you, Creep. What exactly are the needs of an albino kobold in the city of Fayport? I can honestly say I don't recall ever having a customer of your stature in here.
I was looking to get piggyback rides for a few hours.
Piggyback rides? Shh. By anyone in particular?
Someone soft.
I believe I have just the thing. And she goes, "Helga, join us." And you see a female furbolg that is probably 6.5 feet tall, pushing 500 pounds, as wide as she is tall. Think waddling back and forth. You see, Helga is the softest that we can provide, but I hear she is quite gentle with those who need it. So please, if you would go with her, I'm sure she will provide any rides that you require. and she would hold out her hand. Helga would hold out her hand. Would you take it?
Yes.
And she would very quickly snatch you up and hold you like a baby in her arms and just start humming as she was walking away, rocking you.
Oh, this is nice.
And you go behind the door with a little leaving our friend Caboyne here. Well, now that your friend seems to have gotten what he wants, what type of companion are you looking for?
Well, first the room. Of course, you want the lady of the house to, of course, be comfortable. So the biggest, most comfortable room by her standards. Again, the council will pay. He just keeps telling you that the council will pay basically every other sentence. And he says, but, it's a Furbolg town, so if a Furbolg lady could help me out here, that would be interesting. And I just need her to kind of, I'm drying out a little, so I need pond scum rubbed on my body for a little while, if she could do that. But I would advise she wears gloves because, I am slightly toxic on the outside, and so, no glove, no love.
She says, no worries there. All of our services are safe. We only service safely in this establishment.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I've been to port towns where they didn't service safely.
There's far too much in the Fae to not be safe, my friend.
Oh, I agree.
Have it covered. Matter of fact, when you walked in, all diseases, germs, anything that can hurt you are all nullified when you walk through these doors. So anyone can have as much fun as they want without worry. No gloves will be needed. This place is the glove.
Oh, well, this will be a first since I've been at home, so.
Please.
This is exciting.
She just puts her arm that way and she goes to that same door that Creep went through. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't say anything. She said, I'll send in someone I think you'll like.
Okay, so before I exit, I'll stand up on the spear and give a little bow and then slide down the spear and walk out with it.
Okay. And the door closes with a goof. And a few minutes later, you go into this room and it is lush. I mean, there's a huge bed, probably 2 kings wide, beautiful linens and silken sheets and you name it. Think Game of Thrones, King's Chamber type of a deal. Okay, and you hear at the door.
I would I'm assuming there'd be a foot bath then with thinking Game of Thrones. So
anything that you want is in there.
I would climb into the foot bath and start, just making myself comfortable and say, "You can come in now."
And the door opens and you see a woman that is obviously a Furbolg, but she is more slight, probably only about 5.5 feet tall, incredibly thin, but proportioned properly. And she says, the lady said that you required companionship for a bath?
Yes, kind of. Sort of. Do you have pond scum here? If not, this is off or not. But the council will still pay.
Pond scum. We have the water for the horses that they drink out of. There's some scum in that. Would that be sufficient?
Is that all you have? If that's all you have, then it'll have to work. But I'm getting so dried out. All this air.
That's all we have is... Yes, the trough that the horses drink out of has mold and scum in it. If you would like to bathe in there, I suppose that's okay.
Oh, that'll be perfect. Are you the one that's bathing me today?
I will be. I'm not sure that would be considered a bath. The bath is usually to get clean. That wouldn't do it.
Hey, you take your bath your way, I take mine my way. I still smell good, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If he doesn't.
Please. And she looks really confused and just ushers you out a different door and takes you down to the stables where there is a probably 10-foot tall trough, probably 2 feet wide, that several horses are actually drinking out of. But this is actually outside of the main building.
Okay. And he'll look into the trough and say, "Yep, that water in the bath upstairs where I rented. That'll work just fine. For now, I guess."
She says, "Okay." And she says, "Please give us some time to do that." And they begin doing all that as you go up back to your room and do whatever it is that you're going to be doing to wait. And
I'll need a bug kebab. You know, if you have centipedes, they're kind of my favorite. And then he'll turn and he'll leave.
That can be arranged. And as you get up, Connor, as he passes by your door, what does he hear?
He hears Creep going, "Wee!" as he's getting a piggyback ride around the room.
And so you're just basically like, yeehaw.
Yes.
Okay. And Zach, what would you, hearing that, would there be any reaction at all? Would you scream anything back? Would you just keep going? What would you do?
Don't be too rough on her in there, boy. Then just keep walking.
And as you go back into your room and the door closes, we're going to pull back from that scene for a minute because I need a minute from it. And Owen and Kuklu, you guys are now heading, and you pass that same brothel, and you see the Hardwood Liquor tap house there. Where would you go? Would you go into the tap house? Would you go into the brothel? What would you do?
Well, I think. Well, go ahead, Owen.
I was going straight into the tap house to inquire about a room. I really want to spend some time with the instrument.
Okay. What about you, Jose?
Cocklock would look at Owen. He'd be like, "I'll be there in a second. Just give me a bit of time." And he would start walking to the brothel.
Okay, so we're not going to go back to the brothel just yet. God, I hate you guys. This really tells me who you are. I'm just saying. Improv games.
These are our characters. Remember that.
Sure. There's someone else's character, actually. So you're all fucked up. So, Jason, Owen goes in, and the innkeeper, what race is the innkeeper in this?
A dwarf.
He's a dwarf. And what's his name?
Brand.
Brand?
Yes.
Okay. When you walk in, Jason, you see kind of a roaring fire on your right side, several tables and chairs, maybe half a dozen. You see a bar straight ahead. Straight ahead. You see, these it's just a very dwarven type of a situation. You see, stones, carved stones. You see pictures of like dwarven heroes. It's very cold in comparison to the typical Furbolg settings that you've seen. There's no trees. There's no anything like that. It's just hardwood. And you see several patrons sitting at the bar and as well as on the tables drinking ale. It's kind of a raucous place. You see stairs up and to the right where obviously goes up. And as you walk in the door, you see this older dwarf, this graying, long beard down to his waist dwarf. And he says, "Welcome, lad. Come in. How can Brand help you?"
And I would, I'd wander over and ask for the sour mash and inquire about a room with a balcony.
Ah, yes, the sour mash. Definitely. We can absolutely. Now, would this be just one order, or is this something that you would like for a while? Perhaps a small cask?
I would ponder that for a second. Cask, man.
Excellent. Now, this is not cheap. This is some of the best around. You would be looking 35 gold pieces. Is this acceptable to you?
And I would go back to the belt pouch again, like counting like money right up on my hand here, and count out 35 and shah.
And he would go, "Well, here, because this may have some effects, especially those of the Fey persuasion, perhaps a sample here just to see if you can withstand its properties. And he kind of shoots you a little, kind of a furball-sized shot glass. It's probably a cup, but he's like, just give it a try. This is the best that we have. This is 40-year cedar. It's a very good year. Please tell me what you think.
And I would pick up the glass and like smile at him. It's like, the effects are what I'm after, and throw it back.
Okay. Give me a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage because you want these effects.
It's an 18 and a 19 on the dice.
So you take this shot. It's smooth. It's got that little burn, but it's smooth going down. You've heard of this before, and this is good stuff. And you kind of take that cask, and Brand is just kind of looking at you, just like with that eye, like making sure you're going to be okay. He's like, well, obviously you have done well. You are going to be in room 7. That's right up the stairs, 7th door on your left. The balcony you will see will look over the port. It is beautiful. If you need anything else, please let me know.
And I would hold the cask up on my shoulder, and as I got to the bottom of the stair, I'd look back at him and wink and say, no worries, I'm a professional, and go up to my room.
And with there, again, it's basic accommodations, but it does have a balcony large enough for you to sit, probably more like an Indian style, not really stretch out. But perfect. You see the port on the right and all the ships coming and going to this ocean. You see a mountain on your left. You see the sprawling city beneath you. Not only is this just stone, but you see trees kind of everywhere. And it's kind of a weird kind of amalgamation of nature and like urban. And you see that as you get more towards the keep, the center place in the city, it gets more green. And as you get to the outskirts, it's more of that kind of gray and brown stone. So as you're sitting out there on your balcony, what would you be doing?
I would take out the horn and just start just messing around with it as I take in the scenery, letting everything around me just kind of inspire, stopping every now and then and pouring another cup from the cask. And I'm going to sit like this all night long.
And how much of that cask are you going to drink?
The whole thing.
Then you spend the entire evening completely hammered out of your mind in this euphoric state of hallucination of the Fae. Now, because this is more of a Fae magic, you don't get tired. You still get that rest, even though you're not sleeping. And as you begin playing and drinking, this is when we will go to our buddy Kuklu going back into the lusty lager. And again, you see that elven woman there, and she says, "Hello, strange clientele today. How may I help you? What services can we provide?"
Well, before we get down to business, can you have some of your ladies help me up?
Help you up where?
Well, somewhere higher. I can't see you.
Sure. And you just hear, and a rather large, very, very broad, sturdy furball woman comes over and literally just one hand kind of picks you up by the belt and puts you up on the desk. You're now probably 1.5 feet taller than this elven woman.
He would be like, all right, well, as you can tell already, I have 2 companions here, a white lizard and a hardy toad. I'm pretty sure you've seen them.
A white lizard? Yes, the other strange clientele today. I should have known you were with those 2.
I would appreciate if you don't look at me like that.
Of course. Apologies. How may we serve you?
Well, I just need you to relay a message. Let them know that we're staying next door. The council got us a room. Just make sure whatever you do, don't worry about the toad. Don't bring him nothing. He's weird, but whatever our little white friend needs, he's okay.
Yes, Helga will take care of him. He's already engaged in her services. From what I've heard walking by the room, he's enjoying himself.
All right. Well, like I said, the toad. Don't bring him any more girls. He might end up killing them with that poison of his. But just let him know where we are at, and that would be good enough.
I'll relay the message that you are next door. Do you know what room it is, or should I just tell him to find you there?
Just tell him to find me, and he would hand her like 15 gold pieces, and be like, "Good day."
15 gold pieces. She would be like, "Are you sure you? This is enough for 5 companions. Are you sure you don't wish?"
Take it or leave it. It's up to you.
And she just kind of grabs it and she's like, if you ever need anything, please let me know.
Could you have this wonderful lady carry me to the next door?
She looks at you and a big smile comes to his face. She says, "Absolutely." And the woman kind of picks you up and literally puts her on her shoulder so your legs are like hanging down just like a little kid. And as she walks, she's holding onto your legs and just.
Yeah, he would just look back and he'd be like, "Good day," and then he would be like, "Hey, what's your name, madam?"
To the woman that's carrying you?
No, the elven woman before he leaves.
She said, I am the facilitator of this establishment. My name is Lady Axebane, is what they call me. I've run this place since the beginning. Please, if you need anything, do let me know."
He would stick out his little green arm. He'd be like, "I'm Captain Cutlet. Nice to meet you."
And she would just kind of, like with her fingers, for a little hand. And then as you turned away, which you wouldn't see, but like the scene would see, you would kind of see her going like that. "Hurry back," she would say. And as you go over to the hardwood liquor, we are going to take a quick 3-minute break or so, 4-minute break, because I need to pee. So, yeah. Not where that's the fun of improv, guys. Had no idea we were going to be sex fiends in this thing, apparently.
I was being very
Unlike any D&D
Just so we're
game
clear,
you've
it's
ever
all
played in.
Jason's fault.
That's how he wrote his character.
Totally.
But the point is, guys, and I hope you see this. You guys are filling it in. I'm just connecting the dots, right? And how much fun I'm sure it's unlike any D&D game you've ever been in, but that's why it's silly. It can be anything. And if you connect it, although I can tell you I've never run a game with an actual brothel that people went to and someone who wanted piggyback rides.
Whee!
So I will say I'm having a blast because y'all are insane. So anyway, we're going to take a break and we'll be back in just a minute, guys. All right. For the people watching, thank you very much. I'm not looking at chat right now, but hope everybody's enjoying it. But that's the kind of fun part for me for these games is, I don't know what we're going to do or where we're going to go, and these guys are basically creating the story, and we're just going with it. It's a different type of thing, but as a DM, to me, it's very little pressure, and it's just fun. So I know that Jose and Zach don't have a lot of experience, but I think they're doing a good job with it. Connor, the piggyback ride things, dude, that's hilarious, man. This visual of this 500-pound furbog woman and this albino kobold riding on her back.
Yeah, I'm loving it so far, but it took a turn that I never thought it was going to take.
That's the point, Yeah, it's fun. Oh, hopefully everybody's enjoying themselves so far.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, we actually got to get to the story, right? I mean, we may have to do a part 2, guys. You never know, because I'm only going for 3 hours. If we don't finish in 3 hours, I'm having a blast. I'll do it again. So if everybody's cool with that.
There's a story?
Yeah, there absolutely is a story. I think there's a pretty coherent story, to be honest.
I thought this was just the Sunday trip to the brothel.
Yeah, well, you just never know, right? And Connor, let the chocolate go, dude. I know you have a 3-pound chocolate bar from your girl. I get that. Wait, hold on. Jose, are you drinking liquor out of a plastic bag? Or is it like, okay. It looks like you got a bottle of vodka. Like, dude, in this group, show the vodka.
I had some beer earlier, but sadly I ran out.
Understood. I had too much beer last night, hence.
I'll chill with the chocolate.
Yeah, seriously, dude. For the first hour, I'm just seeing you munch. I'm like, good Lord, man, how are you that thin?
I don't know.
That metabolism will not stay with you, man.
It won't. It won't. Some of us never had it. Anyway, so are we all good? We all back? Ready to go another hour and a half, and we'll see?
Got my coffee. Got my fruit strip. I'm good.
Okay. Hold on a second. I apologize. My youngest is excuse me, is next door. I bought the house next door. My wife is right there. My ex-wife is next door. So my kids, I have a 10-year-old and 6-year-old. Sometimes they this isn't my week. That's why I plan my thing. But usually the kids like pop over, and she just got back. Hold on a second. Hey baby, come here. I'm doing a game that you can say hi to everybody. This is Peanut. Say hi to everybody.
You promised me you'd find me a toy.
Yes, and you're going to come to my house tomorrow, and we're going to get you a toy tomorrow. Okay? But we're live. Can I have hugs? Give me big hugs. Because I'll see you later. I love you so much. Bye. Bye.
Aww.
Bye, baby. See ya.
Moments.
Well, it's the best part of, yeah, we're divorced, but my kids get to, it's literally 50 feet away. So it's good for everybody. So it makes me happy. Anyway, now back to the sex.
Segue.
No, there's no segue there for my 6-year-old. So we have, you know what? Let's give a recap here. So we have the Furbolg Bard playing his horn on the balcony, smashed out of his mind, hallucinating in the euphoria that is this Fey hallucination. You have the creep, the albino kobold, doing piggyback rides on this fluffy Furbolg woman. You have the Grum with the giant stick in the bath of horse trough water with the beautiful Furbolg woman. And then we have the goblin, Kuklu, going into the tavern on the shoulders of this other Furbolg companion. And that's where we'll pick up. Jose, as you walk in, your head probably hits. You have to kind of duck to get in. And as you walk in, that same dwarf Brand looks up at you and says, "Hello, welcome. Welcome to Hardwood Liquor Tap House. How may I help you?" Oh, And then he notices you up there. He was looking at her, and he was like, "Oh, yes. How may I help you?"
He would be like, "Hello, lad. My companion got a room here for us. We were sent by the council."
Your companion. Who is that? Who? I don't know anything about a council. What?
Big blue fella, horn. Big blue fella.
You're describing 3/4 of the patrons in my establishment. Could you be more specific, please?
He was probably gone out of his mind.
I'm sorry. With what we serve here, that tends to happen.
He would have been here like 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago. And he looks. He goes, "Oh, the gentleman with the cask. He yes, room 7. He's in room 7."
All right. Just letting you know, we have more people coming, and they look weirder than I do. So heads up.
Oh, yes, weirder than you. I doubt that. But I'll keep it in mind. What do you speak of with the council? The council?
We're in a mission. The council sent us. They told us that we're going to take care of all our rooms and beverages and everything.
I see. That is highly unusual. Would you like your own room, or would you like to go into his? We do have several rooms still available. Do I need to reserve them?
You can reserve another one for our other guests. I will go to the one that he's at.
Okay.
And I would like some of your best beverages, if possible.
Yes. I can't. I would need you to pay for them. We have the cedar. That is the what we are known most here for. I believe your friend got a cask. There's probably plenty up there for you. If you're going to be joining him, no need to buy it now.
He would just like give him like a weird look and smile, and you would see all these ragged teeth, and he would be like, "Do I have to repeat myself?"
Let's do this again. Please could you come down from your companion and have her put you at the bar?
Absolutely. And he would look at her and be like, "Could you be a sweet guy and put me down, please?"
And she does, and then she just kind of gives you this little. Before she does, she kind of gives you this kind of hug, and then she just kind of nods, winks, and just goes back to where she was, and she just kind of gives you, type of a deal. And as you're sitting there, he's like, as always, I did this with your friend. Please just take a sample, make sure you can handle it. I'm not sure how this magic works on goblins.
I'll forget that you said that word, and just give me what you're gonna give me.
And he gives you again a very small glass, probably like half of a shot. And if you shoot that back, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
I got a 10.
Okay. Then you know what? I'm gonna have you describe this as you sit in this chair, and you're the even on this stool, your face is probably this high to the bar, right? And so you shoot this shot back of cedar. What does it look like as you begin to feel this kind of warmth coming through, starting at your toes and going up to your head until like you're seeing like butterflies and, little fairies floating around, and it's all green and gorgeous. And what does it look like to everyone else?
So you would probably see him like with his hands on the counter, and his ears would just go straight back, and his eyes would open up, and he would be like, "Oh!" And then he would start looking everywhere, and he would look at the guy, and he'd be like, "This is wonderful." And you would see him like looking around, looking at the fairies and all the foliage coming on, and he would like, "I would take 2 of those, please."
Two of what?
Whatever you gave me.
He's like, at this point, you just see Brand standing there in the forest. That's what you see. And he's like, he just kind of takes 2 and just kind of puts them there. And he's like, that should be plenty for now. Now, what would you do with those?
He would take them back to back, and he'd be like, "Look, lad, I said 2 of those. Big. I'm not playing with you, all right? Do you fucking understand me?
Give me a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage, DC 15.
A 8.
Okay. You take both of these back, and these are bigger. And just with the strength of this liquor and your lack of size, what are you, 3 feet tall, 2.5 feet tall?
3 feet tall.
Okay. So you're basically a toddler. So you've now taken basically 5 shots of hard liquor, and you're the size of a toddler. As you take this, when this stuff hits hard, and you go back, and I imagine you fall flat on your back, right? Just not passed out, but just eyes glazed over. You acknowledge nothing. You hear nothing except what is in your head and the beauty and the euphoric kind of woo of that. Basically, you are high as a kite, and you will be until dawn.
Gotcha. Yeah, he would be in the ground like, woo, that's what I'm fucking talking about. He'd be
And not a single person in this tavern would notice it, or it wouldn't bother them, because apparently this is a common thing for people who haven't done it before, who haven't built up their immunity to it. So everyone just kind of steps over you, or maybe somebody kicks you accidentally, but you don't feel it. So we have Jason being horny, playing his horn up there, and being gone. You have you passed out at the bar. Now, Connor, do you just want to say that Creep just does his piggyback riding the rest of the night, or is there something else that you would like to explore with Helga?
He would probably ask, "Can I sleep on you?"
You would just see her very kind of sheepishly, like, and she would kind of get herself all prepped and ready, and just kind of hit her belly and say, "Right here." And would you do what like a dog does? You'd kind of circle and kind of make your own little bed.
Nope, Slade Starfish style.
Face up, or face down?
Face up.
Okay, so you're like this.
Correct.
2 pillows, right here. Yeah, okay. And faster than you think you should, you drift off to sleep on a bed that feels like the most comfortable cloud in the world. The albino kobold. And now back to Kaboing. Your bath is full. You have gotten in. This companion, obviously kind of grossed out by what's going on, is kind of using a sponge and sort of, sponging down your blue skin. Would you say anything to her, or would you just enjoy it?
I would believe I can enjoy it, but I would say, are the kebabs on their way?
Yes. I've put the order in. They had to go get them. It might be a little while, but you said you were staying the evening, correct?
Yes. And I don't want to be too pesky, but is your cook by happen chance a tiefling? Because they're just the absolute best cooks.
No, most of us here are fey creatures, like I am. And
oh yeah, that makes sense. And then he whispers, "You should get a tiefling cook."
I'll let the lady know. I'll let the lady of the house know for sure. But are you sufficiently bathed now?
He thinks, I suppose. I heard about this whiskey that's next door. Do you guys have any of that?
Well, yes, absolutely. Cedar is what it's called. And sure, absolutely. How much would you like?
And he looks down. He says, "How much to fill the tub up the rest of the way?"
She says, "That would probably be an extraordinarily bad idea to someone who isn't used to it. Perhaps a sample first, perhaps a mug or a glass."
He thinks for a minute. To drink, yes, but I still need to fill the tub up.
Okay, well, she goes, she goes and kind of goes to the side and cracks the top of this one and pours it in, and she hands you. It's probably the equivalent of about 2 shots.
Okay.
And you're just gonna down it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna down that first little bit.
Okay, you're gonna do the whole thing or just a little bit?
Yeah, I'll down the whole thing.
Okay, DC 12, please. Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay. 16 on the die, no modifier. Okay. So 16.
So to you, it's like I said, it's smooth, it's sweet, it's delicious. It's absolutely delicious.
So he thinks for a minute. He says, "It tastes wonderful, but to get these," and he looks around like he's not supposed to say it. Special effects. I need to absorb it through my skin. I'm a frog, you see. So, like I said, fill up the tub, and he taps the side of the tub. And nods and says, "That'll be all. Thank you." He just leans his head back and he waits for the whiskey.
Let's simplify this one for you, Zach. She brings another tub in about your size, about the size of a laundry basket, I would assume, given your size. And she puts it down, and she has 2 larger football men come in with a barrel of this cedar, and they crack the barrel and they dump it in, and that tub of cedar, warm as if they warmed it up for you prior, is now sitting about a foot away. You are still in the bath of horse trough water, and you can even see the scum kind of on the sides. It kind of reminds you of back home. Would you just hop in or what?
I would take that mug she handed me before, and as they poured it in this other tub, I would be scooping it out and dumping it in until I got the desired effect.
So you wouldn't jump into the other tub with it?
No. I would just slowly start adding it until I started hallucinating.
Okay. And I think that you would probably get, as it's through your skin, you'd probably get 8 or 9 mugs in before it, I would imagine you dump it over your head and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I think you would end up, honestly, splayed out, spread eagle in the tub, completely gone the way that the goblin is, the way that Kuklu is. And with that, noticing that you were going to be out for pretty much the rest of the night, the companion kind of looks, and the Lady Axebane walks in. She opens the door as you're just about out. You notice her walk in, and you see the maiden by you just kind of look, and she's like, whew, as if she's very, very relieved. And then your eyes close and they go dark.
Okay.
And that is it for the damn brothel.
Hold on. Just one more thing. As he's hallucinating, because they hallucinate things they like, right? So it'd be like flies and drag bugs and stuff. So every once in a while, his tongue will shoot out lazily, trying to catch them.
But I imagine it just falls on the floor.
Yeah.
And it's covered in dust or something like that.
Yeah, and he fully believes he's getting them too. That's it. I'm done.
Dragging across the floor.
and maybe every once in a while it gets a splinter.
Yeah. It just ow.
So transition. Okay.
The next morning at the gate.
The next morning, everyone wakes up, and yeah. So the next morning, all of you, pretty much, except for the goblin. No, sorry, not the goblin. Sorry, except for Creep, all of you get 1 level of exhaustion from being hungover. Creep is in amazing spirits. His back feels amazing. He is warm and is in the best headspace he's been in his entire life. And we're just going to hand wave the fact that all of you stumble or gingerly, briskly hop, in the kobold's case, to the front gate. Can we all agree on that? Okay, excellent. Glad we could make some progress, gents. And you're at this gate, and this is a walled gate, and the guards are standing there. They're packed for travel. They have some packs. They have their spears. They have a sword at their belt. And all of you kind of meander together. You get there at about the same time as the sun is coming up over the horizon. Would any of you say anything about your evening? Would you talk to each other? How would you come back together here?
Still holding his head, Kaboing would say, "Best night ever," and he'd wink at Creep.
Oh, I slept great too.
Now, when Kaboing winks, is it like an actual eyelid, or is it just a little thing in the center of his eye that kind of plays?
It'd be a whole eyelid, yeah.
Reticulating membrane or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Jason? You've been playing your horn and smashed out of your gourd all night.
As is proper. I feel a little tired, but otherwise ready to go. I've been down this path before.
Okay. What about you, Jose?
Well, he would probably be walking kind of funny, like side to side a little bit, but he would take out his little lute and start playing a tune, which all lazily, like you can barely, like, you know, the strings are not hitting right. And he's just walking forward, kind of like closing his eyes a little bit. And he would be like, "It's gonna be a great fucking day today, right, lad?"
Now with that, I would kind of just put my hand on the strings, like stopping the infernal racket. No, man, no.
And the guards, just seeing that you all are obviously just hungover for the most part, and giving Creep a very odd look. Like, are you ready? We've got a while to go, and we do want to hit the grove before nightfall. It's a solid day's travel. Are you ready to begin? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I can do it.
Yes, I'm sure you can. If your stride were just a bit longer. And what about the other three? Are you? You know what?
I'm gonna giggle and tell Creep, "Ask for a piggyback ride."
And Creep, what would you say to that?
Good idea. And then he'll look at the guards that are there. Can I have a piggyback ride?
Don't even think about it.
Kugla would like he was trying to play his guitar, and you know Owen stopped him, and all of a sudden he feels it like coming back up, so he would puke on the side. It would be like, "Somebody carry me! I can't do this."
Are these the same guards that I flirted with the day before?
Yes.
I would look at the one that responded to my flirting and say, "What about me?" and give her a wink.
The one who responded well?
Yeah.
We've no time for games. And she's very focused on getting going. You might have better luck later, but for now, she just wants to go.
Now I'd say, "Onward then."
And they would do that. They would kind of put their packs on and kind of use their spears as walking sticks. And they would lead you out of the gate. Now, there's going to be a solid several hundred yards of kind of, plains, flat earth, like the walls of a city. And then several hundred yards there, you're going to see the path kind of meander. And all you can see is that it does kind of go down, that you know that this grove is lower than where you are. Where you are right now is a little bit too high up to really grow what you need. The trees up here are generally a little bit smaller. And you know that these fabled leaf trees grow large, like 40, 50, 60 feet tall. Most of them are bigger or too big for a full-grown furball to put their arms around. So like a 5 or 6 feet in circumference. And these are old trees. And as you do, the guard, Kaboing, that's a great name, that really had you had her attention earlier, was like, "And what do you know about where we're going? What have you heard? I might be able to give you a little bit more information."
Not a lot. There's trees. I heard there's some people along the way.
People along the way?
Yeah, I heard there's a camp somewhere. I don't really remember. Last night was kind of fuzzy.
It's the we have been charged with your protection. Someone believes that you four can figure it out because you're not Fey, because you're not of this place, even you. And he looks over at you, Jason. You may be your body may be, but you have no connection to this place. And those of us who have been here for a while, we can't seem to figure out what's going on. It's as if we're under some type of spell. It's very strange. We've been trying to figure this out for months, and it's only getting worse. This path used to be clear. This path used to be one of the most safe you could travel around. But as of late, you don't want to travel at night. You don't want to travel by yourself. People say things in whispers, and of course, as guards of the city, we get told these things, and none of which you'd want to know. They speak of spirits in the night. They speak of spirits angry at what's happened to the grove, that they'll hurt or, well, worse, anyone that tries to go into the grove. I hope having you with us will help. But some of the stories I could tell you, you would turn back right now.
Now, as we're making our way down this path, is there anything that I can see as far as that? She said it. Fey magics are kind of like obscuring their ability to see or to do anything about this. Is there anything like I could see that would be out of the ordinary? Maybe a little perception.
She says that. Well, no, it's not really a perception thing. She says that it's like a spell. It's like they hear all these stories, but they don't see it. They don't see in the grove where the things are rotting. They just know that when they cut it down, when they get it home, it's bad. They don't see it in the grove. They've gone to try to figure out what's going on. They can't find anything in the grove. And they say it's like magic. Like something is obscured and we're not able to see it.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, trying to track down this camp. I don't imagine they know where it's at, so I'm trying to like keep an eye out to see if there's anything that I might be able to track.
You've probably only been walking for an hour now, so the grove is a solid 12-hour walk away. 8 if you kind of go quick, but the path is just that. It's kind of meanders around. There's some areas that are kind of wooded and forested. Some areas are steep. You go up kind of the side of a hill, and there's little rock outcroppings. You see areas of like broken down wagons where it looks like they've been destroyed or crushed. You really see just normally what you would see on a path. A very heavily traveled like caravan path. And Jason, as you grew up in a caravan, you would know that most of these, actually give me a history roll.
That is a natural 1.
Okay. Because of the effects of these, of that drink from last night, you don't remember even barely who you are, let alone your experiences in your life. So you look at all these broken caravans and you think, I should know that. And then you go, oh God, my head. And that one level of exhaustion just really is kind of taking its toll on you. Now, for the purposes of time, I'm going to say that we get about halfway there. And I need everybody to give me a perception roll.
Are we in broad daylight?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Probably about, I don't know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock?
I got 19 on the die.
Okay.
2 again.
23.
Okay.
11.
So in this path, the guards are going first, but how would you guys be situated? Who would be up front? Say we can go 2 by 2. Who would be the first two up front, and who would be the people in the rear?
To prove the guards wrong about his stride length, he'd probably try to keep as close to them as possible.
Okay.
I imagine I'm more towards the back, just kind of lumbering along.
Okay. And who's the other one up front, Jose or Caboin?
I would be in the back because like he's really like feeling it from the night before, so he's walking really like sluggishly.
Okay.
And Caboing is all about proving his worth, so he'd be up in the front for sure.
Okay. And so as you guys go, the guards just pause and they stop, and they actually look at each other for just a brief kind of half a second before both of them jolt to the sides into the kind of the wooden treed areas that you're going through right now. Right now, you're above you is completely open, but both sides is more of a fairly thick wooded area. But you can see that it only goes on for another 200 yards and about 200 yards behind you. So you're kind of in this little, thicket. But both of them goes, and Caboing, the one that really liked you, just kind of looks up and she says, "Go hide, they're coming."
Yeah, I'd probably look for a low bush, and because I'm used to my normal spear, I would creep in and like in a bush, find a bush somewhere by a tree, and like sit there and like press the spear up against the tree to try and hide that a little bit, because obviously the bush that's going to hide me is still going to be too small to hide a 6-foot spear.
Okay. And now, so she was kind of saying that directly to you. The other three of you, would anyone listen, or would anyone take cover? Would anyone just be so messed up that they just stood there?
I would stand there like John Travolta, just kind of.
Okay.
I think Tesla would like hide behind his leg, because I'm pretty sure his leg is like bigger than me.
Okay. So you would hide behind the furball. Okay. Connor, what would Creep do?
Creep is going to run behind a tree.
Okay. So, Jason, I need a dexterity save from you, please, sir.
Also, real quick, Caboing would probably be rubbing the tip of the spear on himself to try and get the poison on it.
I don't think that mechanic works like that, but I'm all about you rubbing yourself with the wood. Okay.
Okay.
Just for no other reason except you're just rubbing. Fine. We're just going to roll with that because that's apparently the theme of the game today. So, Jason.
Yeah, that was a 2 on the die for my dex save.
So as you see these guards kind of just flash to the sides, and you see your grung friend go to the left, and you see your kobold friend go to the right, and you see that this goblin kind of scurry behind you. So he's sitting at your legs, like what's going on, your typical goblin response. You see this, just for lack of a better phrase, this silvery white web just come directly at you, and it actually encompasses your body from head all the way down to your knees and sticks Jose or Kuklu to you. It actually encompasses both of you. He's now kind of attached with that web on your thing as you actually fall prone, and you are basically enwrapped in this sort of web. When this happens, the other 3 of you actually see 3 spiders, 2 on the edge of the road and 1 in the center, about 30 feet ahead, just pop out of the wood. Roll for initiative. Hold on. Okay. All right. So one of them is going to go first, and then we're going to go Zach, Jason, another one of them, and then Jose, then another one, and then Connor. Creep is the last one. So the first one here, as I said, is about 30 feet away. As you're kind of wrapped up, Jason, this thing's going to just bound with its legs. It's actually going to jump just about the entire 30 feet until it lands directly on you. And as you're prone, it's going to try to sink its teeth into you for this turn. And what's your AC? Oh, wait, I got it written down. Never mind.
16.
Yeah, 16. So he actually, it's funny, he actually sinks his teeth in, but it gets like a mashed up part of your jerkin. It actually rips the jerkin, but it doesn't pierce your skin, but it's still sitting there on top of you. And all the rest of you can see this. Zach, what do you do?
Okay, so when I see him get attacked by a spider, you said, of course, there's web. I'm going to frog leap in the air and with both hands trying to bring down the spear on the spider, shouting for the mother.
Okay. How far can you leap? Because you're about 20 feet away from him. I think you have a long jump of 25 and a vertical of 15, if memory serves.
Something like that. I can't remember. It's different for the grung than it is, I think.
Yeah, I know. I played a grung. That's why I say that. I think he had it written down on a sheet.
Did he?
Jason, is that right? 25 and 15? Okay. So, okay, I'm going to say if you're just going to go distance, then, yeah, you could do the 20 feet and bring it down. Sure. Okay. Give me a roll.
Oh. It's 5 on the die, so I don't think that's going to make it.
No, I imagine that you actually make that jump and you come down and you miss your companion. As you drive your spear down in, you miss him, and I imagine the spear is about 2 inches below between his legs. And you're like, oh, sorry. Next, we're going to go with Jason. Jason, you can make a strength roll, DC 13, to see if you can get out of this web.
Okay. As I'm trying to make the strength roll, the spear right between my legs really startles the shit out of me. I'm like, dude!
Watch the jewels, man!
And that's a 4 on this dice.
Then you just kind of going like this, and it's just not happening. So with that, you're just going to basically stay restrained. You're not going to be able to get up for this round. The next one, actually seeing this grung jump in and stab down, one of the other spiders is actually going to shoot a web at you, Kaboing, as you're standing there. Except this one actually shoots wide. But after it shoots the web, it actually scurries right up to you. It's not close enough to attack yet, but you have 2 of those right there now. Next one, we're going to go to Jose. You too can make a strength roll if you'd like to see if you can break out of this web that you're attached to your buddy with. I imagine that your face kind of comes up to like his butt, so your face is like stuck to his ass.
I got an 18.
Okay, so you actually bust out of where you are. You don't bust everything, just where you are, just because you were only kind of held on by like a few strands, right? So you can absolutely get out of that. You basically your movement's cut in half, but you can do something once you break that. So what would you like to do?
Well, he's going to look up, and he's going to be holding on to the spear, and he sees that there's a frog and a spider above him, and he's just going to try to stab the crap out of it.
Okay, roll for attack, please.
Quick question. I can multi-attack while I'm doing that, right?
If it's part of your thing, yeah. If that's what you want to do.
Okay. So, first one is a 19. Second one is a 16. And the bonus attack is a 15. I don't know if that hits or not.
Yeah, the AC is 2. So we're not even going to do damage because that's going to be enough to kill it. So this one that's basically on top of your companion here, what does this look like? Describe it as you basically gut this spider, and what happens to its entrails on your buddy?
He would pretty much look up, and he was stabbing at like 3 different places, so then he can just bring the sword back, and it would just up, and it would drop all over like him and all over like Owen's chest, and then after that he would just be like this, trying to get out of there.
Nice. Wow, man. Connor, It's on you. So one of them's dead, gutted, with its entrails all over everybody.
And there's another one next to him?
There's another one, yeah, next to him with your 2 people, yeah.
Am I about as far away as Kabling was?
Yeah, you're probably about 20 feet, yeah.
All right. I'm going to go up, and I'm going to hold my hand out and grab the spider's leg and say, "Nice to meet you," as I cast Inflict Wounds.
You're going to run up to the wait. You're going to run up to the spider, grab his leg, and say, "Nice to meet you." And you're going to shake his leg like you're saying, "Nice to meet you."
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds, which is a spell attack, so I'll roll that.
Sure. Let's go with that.
15 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
He takes 9 necrotic damage as I'm shaking the spider's leg.
So I would imagine that as you're doing that, as you're casting this spell, it begins to like rot this leg. So as you're shaking, eventually when the spell is good, the leg actually breaks off and just kind of is like in your hand, and you're like, But yes, you've absolutely done some damage to it as this thing kind of turns around and starts to focus on you. And it's actually gonna make an attack towards you now. This one's actually gonna hit as it kind of jumps in and sinks its teeth in. I gotta get my other dice. And you are gonna take 4 points of piercing damage and 6 points of poison damage as this thing kind of jumps on you and kind of wraps its remaining legs around, sinks its teeth in, I imagine, like right on your shoulder, and then just injects a little bit of that poison.
No, what are you doing? I was just trying to say hi.
Okay. And we're going to go back up to the start of the order. We're going to go with Zach.
Yep. Okay, so I'm assuming I can get the spear out of the ground fairly easily, or do you want me to roll for that?
Nah, you can pull it out.
Okay, I just want to point out the awesome anime grandeur of how giant the spear is compared to my body.
Okay.
And then do ridiculous flippidoos, and then just try to stab it in defensive creep. So
Okay.
And as we just pointed out in the chat, he does get a second attack too.
Go for it. It's y'all's job to know your skills, not mine.
And as a bonus action, when that hits, he's going to cast Wrathful Smite on it as well.
Okay, and this is the one that's on Creeper right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the first one's a 14 on the die.
That hits.
The second hit is 15 on the die.
Then we'll again with
yeah.
So what does this look like with Wrathful Smite and everything? What happens as this spider is like wrapped around Creep? The spider's bigger than Creep is, so he's kind of holding on to him. What does this look like? So,
as I jab forward, it just pierces through his what is it called? A thorax, right?
That's the
pierces through his thorax, and you're gonna see a purplish light glare out. And then you're going to see it like shake its head if it survives. But we should probably roll damage.
It's not going to survive. I can tell you
not
right
going to
now.
survive.
Yeah. So how does it get obliterated here?
So, you see a purple light come from the jab wound, and then it would let go of Creep. And you see it like shake its head and try to swipe at its head, and it just falls dead where it lays.
Awesome. Creep, would you respond to him at all when this happened?
He'd look at the spider, then back to Gaboin, then back to the spider, then back to Gaboin.
Okay.
You did it!
All right, and the other one that's left, it's still about 30 feet away. It really hasn't done much, but it kind of looks like it's hesitating. It's not really sure what to do. You kind of see it take its legs just kind of skitter back, like maybe back up about 5 feet, but it's not sure exactly what to do yet. So we're going to go back up. Let's see. After that, we're going to go to Jason. You're still
I'm going to
covered in entrails and.
Yeah, gagging a little bit. I'm going to try to break free with the strength check again.
Okay, go ahead.
Better. What is my strength bonus? That's a +3, so 15.
That barely breaks you out, but it does.
Okay, so yeah, I struggle a bit as I try to get loose. I get my hand on one of my hatchets at my belt and kind of cut enough to where I can break loose, but on the ground, sitting up, spider entrails and webbing all over myself. I'm like, oh, grody, man.
All right, now you can do something else because just breaking that web is not your whole turn.
Okay. You said that the other spider is 30 feet away?
Yeah, 30, 35, somewhere around there.
Okay, so I guess that I would like to, I guess, find myself in song as I break out, and
I'm gross. Let me sing.
Yeah, I want to cast a bardic inspiration on Kaboing there.
Okay. And what is that? What is that giving him, Jason? So he knows.
You can add the number. Hold on. Roll what die? Sorry, I'm reading this for the first time.
I think it's a 4 or a 6, one of those two.
Yeah, it is a D6. You roll a D6 and add that to an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Okay, so basically you just got covered in entrails. You got up, you broke the web, you kind of cleaned yourself off, and your first thought was, I'm going to play a tune to inspire my ally.
Yes. Essentially.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, hey, it's your character. I think it's weird, but whatever. All right, so
that is not the weirdest thing that's happened this session.
That's true. Piggyback rides. So okay, that is yours. So the next time that you do an ability check or anything like that, Kaboing, you are inspired by the tunes that Owen is making. We're gonna go down now to Jose. You're covered in entrails too.
Yeah, Coglug would be like wiping his face, and he would look at it and he'd be like, I feel alive. And he would start like running, screaming, pretty much trying to get the closest he can to shoot a crossbow at the spider.
Okay, so you can get, I mean, what's your movement? 25, 30 feet? What is it for a goblin? 25?
30 feet.
Okay, so you can get within 5 feet of this thing as you're running, screaming, pull out your crossbow, and I'll say you could take a try, sure.
Gotcha. I can do the extra attacks on it, or
read your sheet, brother. I think you should. I'm not sure how it works on a crossbow, but I think you can do 2.
Let's do it. So one is 9, the other one's 22.
Okay. The first one does not hit. The second one does. Roll me some damage and tell me where it hits.
8 damage.
Okay. And where does it hit?
Probably is midsections, like right between the legs, I would think.
Okay. And with this one's actually gonna jump at you as you just shot it. I imagine that the crossbow bolt kind of pinned one of its legs to the ground, but you can see it kind of jerk it up as it jumps again, tries to kind of land on you and sink its teeth in. And that crit you. Hold on. Okay, so you take 23 damage total. You take 17 piercing damage, and you take 6 poison damage. As this thing goes in, and it gets deep into your neck and just pumps you full of poison. Also with that creep, I need you to roll me a d6 to see how much more poison damage you take from the first one. I can't see it, dude.
My hand's too.
5. Oh, mayhem or him?
No. You take 23, brother. You take an additional 5 unless you get your poison cured for 1 minute. So basically 10 rounds, you take a d6 point of poison damage unless you cure it. So yes. So that thing jumped on you, and even though you shot it, it got you good. Kaboing, you're back up. I believe you. Yeah, you're back up.
Okay, 1 spider left.
Yep, 1 spider left. It's hurt, and it just sunk its teeth deep into the goblin.
Okay, I actually noticed this one getting hurt, so I wouldn't use Wrathful Smite on it, but same thing, stabby, stabby twice.
Stabby, stabby twice. So, okay, so I think you can do that. Okay, give me the AC, the armor is 12 on this thing, so.
17, that's a hit. 9 plus 4 is the attack modifier, so yeah, both hit.
Okay, roll me damage.
7. 7.
Okay. So again, you just kind of pierce it and go up to it and do your attacks there. You can just see kind of this blood, kind of black Icarus stuff just kind of coming out of it as it kind of squeals and shrieks from there. Jason, are you done playing your horn?
Oh no, I was screaming like a battle song.
Okay. I was just imagining you.
The spider's still 30 feet away, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
30, 35, yeah.
I want to try to reach it. What is my speed? I think I can reach it. Yeah, I can reach that thing. I'm running at it and going to attack with both of my hatchets. I got 2 hand axes that I'm going to attack this thing twice for. That is a 16 on one and a 4. So, no, it's a 19 on one and a 7 on the other.
Okay. So that first one hits. Roll me some damage. You're muted, brother.
Sorry, I was on the character sheet, couldn't see. That's 7 damage on that one attack.
That's actually enough to kill it. So tell me what this looks like as this thing's bleeding from the spear wounds and it just bit your goblin friend. What does it look like when your hand axe sinks into it?
Okay, yeah, I imagine running up and kind of doing an underhand swing on both. The first one just misses and goes wild, but the second one comes up in like kind of an uppercut right beneath the mandibles of this thing, and I just catch it and yank it down to the ground as it stops moving.
And I imagine the legs kind of like go out as it squishes up against the ground, and like all the things once they're dead, all their legs kind of come in. If you've ever killed a spider, all the legs kind of come in to the center, and you guys are out of combat. You have two people continuing to bleed and to be poisoned. You guys would know that. Connor, especially you. Creep would know that he's poisoned. I wouldn't know if he had anything to cure it or if anybody had anything to cure it. But for 1 minute, if you guys are going to let that run out, I will roll the damage if you guys want. Yes? Okay. So we're going to let the poison run its course. Jose, do you have anything?
I do not.
By the way, guys, just for your own knowledge, make sure, because I didn't think about it, 3 of you have a level of exhaustion. You have to, when you're doing your rolls, make sure you take that into account, okay? All right. So, Connor, I'm going to roll a d6 9 times, okay? 3. Hey, count these up for me, okay? 3, 4, 6, 6. Oops, sorry. 3, 4, 2, 4, 2. Oh, I meant add them up, dude. Never mind. I was never mind. I'll just do it in my head. We're gonna do this real quick. Okay, so 3, So yeah, just make sure you count my 9, okay? So 3, 3, 6. 6 is 12. 4 is 16. 2 is 18. 6 is 24. 7 is 25. 8 is 27. 31. So 9 is 31 points of poison damage. I think you're still up, right? Yeah.
That would be an owl.
Yeah, and I imagine where he got beat, you can like see in the skin where it's kind of getting all like necrotic and like kind of rotting away here, and you can see it like in your veins where the poison has like gone through you. Pretty jacked up. Jose, we're gonna do the same thing for you. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 5. 2 is 6. 3 is 8. 4 is 13. 5 is 17. 6 is 23. 7 is 26. Sorry, I'm having trouble. 8 is 31, and 2 is 33. So 33 points of poison damage as well.
Woof. So I'm still alive, but I'm hurt.
Okay. So seeing this, guys, over the course of a minute, this is all happening. And when everything is sure, they're all sure that the coast is clear, you hear from 2 different sources on your right and on your left. And both of those city guards are just kind of walking very gingerly and almost in a very kind of condescending way, just kind of clapping. Like, you survived. These little ones barely. That's not surprising. But you survived. Best do what we tell you to next time.
But I did. I just shifted into my gnome voice. That was weird.
And stay there.
Where'd Stoney come from?
When I say take cover, I mean take cover and stay there. Are we clear? Or would you like another encounter like that one? And this time, maybe you won't make it.
Yeah, you never told us to take cover. I didn't hurt you.
So
I feel great.
Why did the little one run for the trees? And why did that one talking to Gaboing, why did they take cover then?
I don't know. He was looking at you last time, not me.
Eyes and ears opened. If you don't pay attention, you will not make it back alive. Are you clear? Do you understand?
He would look back. He'd be like, I understand, but I'm watching you. You better keep your back washed.
As Jason plays with his pussy. Had to go there, bro, in this game.
Of course you did. I mean, I'd expect no less.
So, Connor, how many hit points do you have left? And Jose, how many points do you guys have left?
14.
Okay.
22.
Okay. So, would you be doing any healing or anything like that, Connor?
Almost definitely, yes.
Okay.
Probably going to use a 3rd level spell slot on Healing Word for Kuklu.
Okay. Do it.
Jose, you're going to get back 11 hit points.
That's terrible for a level 3 spell.
Woohoo!
Well, no wisdom modifier.
And are you going to cast anything on yourself?
I'm going to use a 1st level Healing Word on myself.
Okay.
And I get back 3.
Okay. Zach, what are the names of these 2 guards? Actually, no. Give me the name of one of these guards.
Because I believe the one that was flirting with me probably would have told me her name by now. Her name would be Red Moss.
Red Moss. And Jason, what's the name of the other one?
Shanae.
Shanae.
Yes, Shanae.
The urban Furbolg. Does she have dreads and stuff like that? We go in there? Okay. So Red Moss and Shanae, oh, that's terrible, are still with you, just kind of waiting. They notice you doing your little healing spells, and they look very kind of frustrated with the time. Like Shanae would look at all of you and be like, look, we must go. We must go. We must make it to the grove. We are not safe until we make it to the grove. We can't be slowed down by these little things. These things shouldn't have done anything to you. These are nothing. There's far worse in this forest, far worse on this path. Could you please try to be more careful?
Good question.
You got it.
Good.
Could I cut some of the spider fangs and like put the poison on my blood?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Are you going to do both of them? Like,
yes.
Okay. So I'm going to say that you need 2 fangs for 1 dose of poison. I'll say that if you put a dose of poison on, it will add 1d6 poison damage to any successful hit twice before you need to reapply. I figure it's on one side and then it's on the other, right?
Yeah.
And Zach, rubbing your stick on yourself didn't do anything.
I figured.
As far as making it poison, it might have done something else, but
I think
of course it did something else.
I think with the Grum, he actually can, the skin being poisonous and all, he can rub the blade, and anybody he attacks with would have to roll a d12.
Well, I made a call on it, and I'm just going to roll with that because that's what we're doing. So
Cool.
For the purposes of this, his ass ain't that wet. It doesn't come off. So,
Not anymore.
Yeah, he's too dry and scaly. He needs to moisturize. Okay. So I imagine as he's rubbing his spear on you, hear little chafing, buddy.
That scum was not good enough last night.
Yeah, exactly. So we continue down this path, guys, and you see almost probably another few hours, nothing really happens on the path. And you begin to see this in the distance, probably a quarter mile ahead. You come down this sort of hill into a major like wooded area, almost look like the beginning of a thick forest. But where this path goes in, you almost see kind of a shimmering. All of you would notice this. It's almost like a mirage in a desert. It's kind of flickers, like you can see it, but every once in a while the image will kind of wave. And it's different colors. You know, you'll see some silvers, some pinks, some blues. This is something that all of you would know would be some type of magic, some type of shielding spell. And as you get closer and closer, the guards pause for just a moment when you're probably 50 feet away. And they say, "We are about to go into the grove." Now, in here, things will be, and they kind of look around, different. This is much more like the Feywilds than anything around here. Things you'll see may not always be what you think. And Shanae looks over at you, Kuklo, and she says, "Unless we tell you to, keep your blade in its hilt. Are we clear?"
Just so he would be like, absolutely.
Okay. And she says, this is not an area that you're very familiar. So please, we need to go here. We need to see if we can find these people. We need to find this camp. We need to see if they're the ones causing it. That is what we're here for. Are we clear? And I assume that you would all say yes. And as you go through this, guys, any of you, with the exception of Creep, as you walk through this, the scene in front of you is this vibrant, just kind of dynamic world. The colors are just like you saw when you were smashed on Cedar. It's the same greens and blues and pinks, the same butterflies flapping around.
All right.
And Creep, this is the second time you guys have had this experience. So to you, it's no big deal. Creep, how would you respond to seeing these colors? You are the opposite. You're an albino kobold. You're the opposite of everything that this is in every way. How would you respond to it?
Creep, in his ratty clothes and very white scales, would look around with wide eyes and his mouth open like, this is beautiful.
And in this particular setting, Creep, you would stick out like a sore thumb, just with being so literally black and white. And the guards would continue to walk in. And I need everybody to give me a perception roll, please. Okay.
17 for me.
Okay.
Another
Connor?
dirty 20.
Okay. And Connor. Oh, no, I'm sorry. And okay, so Jose, Jason. Oh, sorry, Jason. What did you roll? I'm sorry.
It's going to be a 17.
Oh, yeah. So Jose, Jason, and Zach, all of you guys actually see on the path, actually like tracks, like kind of like wagon tracks. They go up about 40 feet and they veer to the left, kind of off the path. Okay. Kaboing, you do not. And it's funny, the guards keep walking. But you guys see, and Jason, give me another history check.
That's a 3 on the dice. I'm not good with history.
So you should be familiar with these tracks. You've seen them before, but you just can't get it, pull it out of your mind as far as where that is. And yeah, that's what you guys see. The guards just keep walking. Would you stop at the tracks? Would you say anything, or would you just keep going?
Owen would absolutely stop at these, like trying to, like you said, I know that I know these, but I can't pull it out of the fog that's going on in my head.
And pointing this out to you, Kaboing, you would notice it once they pointed them out to you. But the guards would kind of turn, and Red Moss and Shanae would just be like, "What are you waiting for? We have to go. We have to follow the path. We have to find these people."
Yeah, Kaboing would just be following and be like, yeah, real pretty. It's no swamp. Let's keep going.
What about the rest of you?
Calculator would be like, hey, laddies, tracks. Big tracks.
Okay. What about Jason or Connor?
Well, Creep would be like, tracks? What kind of tracks? And he'd wander over.
And then the guards would be looking at you. What are you talking about? There's nothing there. And they would be staring directly at where you guys are and unable to see anything.
I'm like, you totally can't see this.
See what?
And I'm
what
like,
are you showing us?
I'm like pushing out any of the brush that might be, because I'm just not getting that they can't see this at all.
They're getting very frustrated. They're like, we have to walk down the path. There is nothing here. Why are you staring at the ground?
The path goes this way, man. We follow this path. And I start to lumber off following these tracks.
And what would the rest of you do with that?
I'm following the tracks also. Apparently they sent us here for a reason. If they can't see it and we can see it, something's definitely going on.
Okay. What about the rest of you? Connor and Zach?
You two are dumb. There's tracks here.
Kuboing would have been like I said, actively avoiding the colors and the fun stuff, but mentioning the tracks, he would change his tune and look back and say, "Oh, yeah, let's go this way."
Okay. And as you follow these tracks, I'm assuming that that Owen's going to be kind of the leader, kind of following this, correct? He's not paying attention. That's why I'm asking.
Sorry, I had family shit going. What?
So you're pretty much going to be the one who's like leading this, right?
Yes.
Okay. And these things go on for a while. This is a relatively large grove. They said that to walk completely across it would be an hour or two along this path. So this is a large area. Now, as you walk on, you notice that you don't really see anything. All these trees, you see these fabled leaf trees. You see they're huge and they just sprawl up to the sky, and the canopy is completely, you don't see any sun. It's just kind of these like bioluminescent plants and creatures. Think like Avatar, like the movie Avatar, with like at night with all like the bioluminescent. That's what you see, and little things flying around, and you hear the sounds of all of this. And to you, Jason, it's probably just amazing. To everyone else, it's probably a little bit odd. But as you continue to go, you see one spot where one part of the tree, it looks like, has been cut out, not cut down, but it's been cut out, right? Like a chunk, maybe 5 feet long, 2 feet deep. So like a side of this tree trunk has been carved out. And you notice that these tracks have gotten heavier and gotten deeper into here, as if whatever was taken was loaded into these cart tracks. And it continues to go further and further away. And every once in a while, you see another one of these trees with this chunk taken out and these tracks. And the guards the whole time are coming up the back, following up the back of you guys, going, where are we going? Like, they're not being quiet. They're just being loud. They're being kind of obnoxious, going, what are you doing? There's nothing here. They can see nothing that you do.
Okay. Owen attempts to try to explain what he's put together here. That they're taking the wood and loading it up on a cart, I think, and going this way with it.
Okay.
To emphasize this point, Creep is going to put his tiny hand into the space where the wood was cut out.
And to them, your hand disappears. And they're like, oh. And one of them, we'll say Red Moss, goes over and she does the same thing. And to her hand disappears in the trunk, and she pulls it out and she's like, wait. You say there's tracks. You say there's pieces of this tree missing, but I can't see it. And she actually goes over to her companion. She grabs her hand and she like pushes it in there. And they're all like, wow, they're all like kind of mystified by it. And she says, well, we didn't notice this before. You say there's something to follow. Well, then let's follow. And I assume that you would lead on? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And who would be you'd be first. And as you kind of came on, because this is all kind of rolling hills and, with like forest, there's ups and downs in it. You begin to smell that smell of burning wood, that kind of campfire smell that we're all, pretty familiar with. And as you begin following these tracks, it gets stronger and stronger until you hear kind of muffled voices laughing and talking and smiling. You imagine that they're smiling. Obviously, you can't hear them smiling, but you know what I mean. And as you kind of cross this last little hill, you see 20 to 22 wagons circled, kind of covered, caravan wagons. You see probably 40, 50 people. Just, there's fires, they're cooking, they're dancing, they're playing instruments, they're singing. Think about like Woodstock, guys, except a lot smaller. Everybody's laughing and smiling. You can see casks, Kaboing. You see casks of that cedar, just like the one that you saw them crack open in the brothel. So you see them stacked up probably 10 high. And obviously everyone keeps going back and drinking. But you can see everyone there.
I think for just a minute, man, just pure stuff. I could just lay in that and soak it all. No, probably not the time. Later.
And what would you guys do? You're probably 100 feet away, kind of on a ridge, looking down on them.
Owen would look to everybody and like, get down low. It's like we should wait, man. Once that sets in, they're gonna be totally spaced, and then we can walk in and do what we need to do, man.
Yeah. I think Cocklock would be like looking above. It's like, so are we gonna fucking kill him then?
So, Connor?
Creep would ask the two guards, "Can you see those people?"
And he would look, and they would look, and they would just kind of nod. Yes, we can see them. And they just kind of look at each other, and they nod to each other, and So it's up to you guys. Do you want to wait? Do you want to? It's probably almost nighttime now. I mean, it's not really dark here. Like I said, the canopy pretty well covers everything. Everything's kind of bioluminescent, so waiting for night probably wouldn't be a big thing. But if you want to wait for them to drink more, we'll see.
Totally should wait on them to get more intoxicated.
I mean, point of order, if they're out of their gourd and they see this particular group of people, they might just think they're tripping out.
Exactly, man.
Okay. Then you guys have to wait for 3 more hours before they kind of start to nod off. Not all of them, but the vast majority are just kind of, on their, sitting against trees or in their caravans or, just passed out by the fire. There's still some people walking around, but maybe only 3 or 4 just kind of walking. You don't see any guards per se. You don't see anything. They look like a big band of hippies. What do you want to do?
Would the ones that are still walking around react at all to the two the guards walking with this, like, oh shit, it's the fuzz kind of thing, or they just too out of it?
Why would I tell you that?
Good point.
Well, let me tell you what to do. No.
Well, I figured we were already walking in with them at this point.
You guys didn't tell me you were going to walk in. You just said that you were going to wait.
Yeah, we decided to wait until they were intoxicated or passing out, and the awareness was a little bit less than what it is now.
Yeah, if you guys would like to begin kind of walking down, you can't really do it in a quiet manner because you're kind of walking downhill. So there's cracking twigs, there's leaves and stuff like that on the ground, and you come up to the kind of the camp entrance where these 2 wagons have kind of been open. It's probably 6 feet, and there's people passed out right on the front there. There's two guys just kind of sleeping, but you can see them kind of smiling just the whole time. And as you walk in, you see some people kind of perk up and look, but they don't really pay you any mind. But you see the guards, they have their spears ready. They're walking in very aggressive looking, just unsure of what's going on. And how far do you guys want to go in? Because there's a central fire in the center of this thing.
Creep is going to go all the way in, no matter if someone follows him or not.
Okay, you want to go all the way to the fire?
Can I try to sneak into one of the tents that somebody's sleeping in?
Absolutely. I mean, it'd be wagons, but yeah, you can absolutely go sneak into a tent. You want to go to the right or the left, Kukla?
Right.
Okay. You go off to the right as the rest of your companions walk in. Creep's going all the way to the fire. What about Jason and Zach? Where are you guys going?
You said there were casks.
Oh yeah, on the far end.
All right, I'm going to try to skirt the outskirts of the camp, trying to make my way. At least I'm going to get a cask out of this.
Okay. And what about you, Kaboy?
I think Kaboing would follow creep on this one.
Okay.
Just keeping quiet and watching what happens.
So again, you don't really pay any mind to the people that are on the ground and sleeping and stuff like that. And as you know what, Jose? This tent that you're in, is there a man in there or a woman in there, a female or a male?
I would say a female.
And what is she doing?
I would say that just like laying down, like on her side, like she don't even notice on there.
Does she have a cover on, or is she?
Yeah, she's covered pretty much head to toe. Well, except for to her neck, pretty much.
Okay, but she's not looking up at you. So standard tent stuff. And Jason, as you walk around, you got to kind of step over people and stuff like that. But you eventually do get to that far side. And Creep, when you and Kaboing get to that center fire, you can just feel the warmth as you're closer, especially you, Kaboing. You're going to notice the heat because that's going to dry out your skin even more, right? And as you guys do, the two of you see kind of a robed figure coming out of the wagon that's kind of closest, maybe 30 feet away. And it's robed, it's kind of hooded, but the robe is brilliantly colored. There's pinks and blues and greens. Think like a tie-dye, but like robe. And it's almost like it shimmers with the firelight kind of off of it. And this figure's probably, 5.5 feet tall, give or take, slight build, and comes over to you. Doesn't look threatening or anything. And it stops about 3 feet in front of both of you, Kaboing and Creep. And you hear a familiar voice as this person pulls their hood back, and you see that same elven woman from the brothel. And she says, "Well, hello again." And that's where we end the session.
I was half expecting just to be there.
Just Jimmy?
Just Jimmy.
Give it time. Give it time. All right, guys, that was a 3-hour improv. No idea what we were going to do. We had 6 or 7 viewers the whole time, so thanks for the people who stuck with us. We're going to finish this. I didn't want to force the story because they did like an hour and a half of brothel time. But again, guys, I have a blast doing these things. I hope you guys had fun kind of playing off of what you guys did. But you can see, though, it's not hard to do. And I love that you guys rolled with it and nobody got pissy about having to switch your characters. I would recommend doing it in your own games just to screw with people because it's great to have that power. And especially the people like Zach and Jose, you guys said you didn't have a lot of experience. I think you both did fantastic in this. So what I'm going to do, guys, unless you have anything to add, I'm going to stop the stream, and then I'm going to talk with you guys for a few minutes afterwards. Unless there's anything else you want to add. We good?
And we're good.
Piggyback rides.
Piggyback rides.
Piggyback rides.
Piggyback rides. That's so messed up. All right, guys. So again, this is Drake with the RPG Construct. This has been another installment of So You Think You Can Roleplay. We're going to do a game 3.5 to finish this up here pretty soon. Y'all take care.